welcome to the Ariel Show. I'm Ariel. Today we are in Sacramento doing some rock and roll, and I wanted to share with you today some of the most undercover secret live show tips and secrets that you probably have not heard before. And I will tell you, being in the industry as long as I've been, there are still things that I learned that I hear from, like, you know, other sound engineers or other bands, and they're like sharing a secret of what this band did, and I am amazed and like dumbfounded and awestruck. Some of the things we as performers do to elevate our show to the next level. Sometimes it's genuine and awesome and needed and like industry standard, and there are sometimes where it's kind of shady and honestly I think like not super cool to do, but we will get into all that. So here are some live show secrets and tricks. Okay, so it turns out assuming we survived with sound checking in the rooms, so now we're back in our little green room. Super cute. Check out that wallpaper. Yum. Okay. Anyway, so most of the time as an audience member, you don't realize how much is actually going on behind the scenes to make a live show work. So you're probably aware that most bands run in-ear monitors live. I've talked to you about this before. Running an in-ear monitor system is crucial, especially as a vocalist. If you can afford to invest in this, do it, do it, do it. As a drummer, you definitely also need to be having an in-ear monitor system so you can have the click. But what you might not realize is not only does the drummer have the click, but a lot of times every single band member will have the click as well. For our live show, we couldn't do it if we didn't have the click. I would be getting off so much because I am doing all these fast-paced parts, these kind of rappy parts, and any moment in the set where there's no drums playing and it's just like a synth. So let's say it's Iodine's bridge. I don't like pain, but I bring it to life. It's getting all down. There's nothing to keep the tempo. So in my ears, I've got that synth going, and I've got click, 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 which is super like unatmospheric. Like it totally ruins the mood, but you just have to get over it. And my eardrums are like in so much pain by the end of the night because I have the click just maxed out because I need to be able to hear it to stay on time. Most band members will have the click in their ears. So whether that's a guitar player, bass player, drummer, vocalist, a lot of times we'll all have it. That's going to keep us all tight. And then something else that you might not realize that a lot of us have going in our ears is vocal cues. Yes, literally what we'll do is take a microphone and record 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, before the bustin', or before something is going to end. Or you can say, don't forget this breakdown goes double here. And we can hear that voice in our ears. You know, it'll be Sean recording it. Ryan was doing it before this tour, just to help make sure that we're all in sync. A lot of times we change our parts from the album to live, and so a lot of bands need that reminder, especially if you're playing, you know, a 15-song set. There's a lot to remember. This is going to make sure that you're always on, not getting off. And then besides vocal cues, something else a lot of times that we have in our ears is a piano note or like a synth note to help us stay on key. So Iodine again is a great example of this. If you'll notice, we start it just, I say I wanna be healthy, and there's no way I could have done that on key if I didn't hear the note in my ears. But we don't want the audience to hear that because that'd be like super annoying. But literally in my ears I hear 1, 2, 3, 4, bing. I say I wanna be, and if that note isn't loud enough, like last night it wasn't turned up loud enough, so I just had to like start blind and like figure it out halfway through the first verse. Super annoying. But the point is, if you hear vocalists kind of starting the song out without like any kind of other instrumentation, they probably are getting that reference note in their ears. All right, and let's talk tracked gang vocals. So many times if you see the vocalist putting the mic out in the audience and saying, now you sing it, it's not only the voices of the audience, there's actually vocals that they've taken from the record, or you know, maybe gotten like this choral arrangement that's also in the track, so that way the audience sounds bigger. So that way if you throw the mic out and the audience actually doesn't all know the words, it still sounds like a sing-along moment is happening. I'm trying to think of an example for that. Okay, so for us it would be in Rock and Roll Thugs, you're not listening, you don't understand. In the studio we did all these gang vocals for that, and those are in the live show with us. So we're taking the mic out, we're asking you to sing it with us, but you can hear those other tracks as well. You probably can't hear them at the show because it's blended so well together. But if you're going to, you know, this giant arena show and you're like, wait, how did all these like choral vocals get picked up from the audience? It's probably not the audience live. They're tricking you. You can come in.
Sure.
I'm filming right now.
I made a pretty sick video too.
Did ya? You want to be in the video? I'm talking about, where are you at? I'm talking about tour trick secrets, and so I was telling them how like we do like the vocal cues in our tracks and having like the notes. I was gonna talk about sometimes guitar players fake harmonies and they're really just using the track and mouthing the words. You got anything else to think about?
Talking about live tips for shows.
Really just exposing all the things that are undercover that a lot of times the average audience member doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, it was like a talkback mic for
yeah, that's
sound
good.
guy?
Yes, tell them about that. Tell them about that.
Sometimes on stage, either her or myself will have a talkback mic, and then we can talk to the sound guy and let him know if there's any problems, you know, on stage. So it doesn't look like we're like going crazy. You know?
Yeah, and sometimes I've seen bands, a band that we toured with, they all had that talkback mic in their ears so they could like make jokes to each other.
Yeah.
You know, and they could comment about like, hey,
you see them all laughing on stage.
yes,
wondering
exactly.
why
They're telling inside
yeah.
jokes. You just pick up the mic. Usually, from what I've seen, it's like by the drums or whatever. But also, the sound guy can actually talk us back to us as well, and you know, give us hints and cues about the night. Or hey guys, don't forget the confetti's going off in 30 seconds and counting. So that's a good one.
Woo!
Cool. Thanks, Ryan. Special little cameo there. Another thing that a lot of people don't realize is how often bands will lower the keys of their songs live. We were covering Titanium for this tour, and I was looking up how Sia was doing it live, and she's got it lowered like, you know, 3 full steps or whatever. I'm lowering it too because if Sia can't do it live, I certainly can't do it live either in the key that it was recorded in. So I'm trying to think of some songs of ours that I know are lowered. I think Make a Move might be, Cynics and Critics might be, basically anything that I recorded really high that I'm like, I got this in the studio, but night after night getting tired, I don't know if I can handle it live. Yes, we're gonna lower that thing about a half a step just to make sure that we're sounding our best, and I don't think there's like anything wrong with that. It's better to have your song half a key lower than the album version. No one's gonna notice, no one's gonna care, and sound good consistently night after night. But here's where things get weird. I was talking to this guy, he was a guitar player in this pretty prominent band, and he ended up leaving, and we were all watching his old band set together, and he was like, oh yeah, the singer is completely using track vocals tonight. He's not singing any of it. And I was like, what? Because for real, like as an audience member, I could not tell that this dude was just faking the whole set. And so a lot of vocalists, when you know, you can't afford to have an off night. If you're packing out these arenas, you've got like 10,000 people there to see you, you can't afford to get sick. And so that's where vocalists sometimes will just cheat, and they will have helper vocals that come in during a really high chorus part, or I mean, you can even Google like Mariah Carey for her belt notes has like all these little helper background tracks, so it sounds like it's her voice, but it's really like a pre-recorded track. And then unfortunately, yeah, some vocalists don't sing their set at all once they get to a certain level. And you know, that's where the barricade's like 20 feet far away, so you're so far away from the singer that you can't really tell that they're not accurately mouthing the words. However, in a club tour like ours, I swear to God, I'm singing every single word. None of it is tracked, and I plan on never tracking any of it. We have tracked harmonies, that's a different thing, but we never track lead vocals, and I never plan to do that. So those were some behind the scenes tips and tricks and insights for all of you guys who are maybe regular concert goers, or maybe you plan to tour one day and you kind of want to know the ins and outs, the little secrets that we have here in the music industry. So that was that. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, click here, maybe here. Nobody knows where I'm going to put the button this week. Thanks to my patrons for making today's episode a reality. There is no way I could do this without your support, so thank you so much. I love you. I'll see you next week.